Hi, I'm Sharon with Dating Again and lovingagaincoach.com. Today I'm talking baggage. I just did this class for a Facebook Live on a singles Facebook page. So I thought I would do it again and get it up on YouTube for everyone else to see. So today we are talking about what baggage is, why it's bad, how to drop it, take care of it, and how to put your very best self out there into the dating scene. So you can see I have a lot of baggage behind me. What is our baggage? Our baggage is unresolved, unprocessed, negative emotions that we are carrying around. And they usually cause us to behave in a not flattering way. A lot of times our baggage does alter our behavior, whether it makes us introverted, whether it makes us more sassy, I guess is a nice way of saying it, more aggressive. There's all sorts of things our baggage can do to us, and to put our best selves out into the dating scene and hopefully attract somebody working on their best self, we are going to learn how to drop the baggage today. So first of all, let's talk about our unresolved, unprocessed issues. I've given a lot of them a name. Of course, there's many ways to have baggage and names for baggage, but we're going to play with a few today, a few common ones I hear in coaching. So let's get started. Okay, let's talk about trust. Have you been lied to or cheated on? Has somebody violated your trust in a bad way and you just don't trust anyone? Of course, that's going to be an obvious, some obvious behaviors, but trust is a large part of our baggage, especially in a dating again situation. Okay, low self-esteem. Have you made some really bad decisions about yourself based on someone else's behavior that's caused us to have low self-esteem? Low self-esteem is bad, obviously, but it's bad because we put ourselves out there hoping someone else will love us so that we don't have to love ourselves. And a lot of times we make a lot of poor choices in dating based on low self-esteem. We will grab at anybody even if they don't behave well. So some more baggage we need to drop. Fear. Do we carry around fear because we've made a bad choice in the past? We're afraid of getting hurt again, or maybe we're afraid of making another bad choice. So a lot of people who suffer from fear, who are carrying fear around, will date a lot of people, just go from one person to the next, and never commit, and just keep plowing through people, leaving them behind and injured and confused. So fear is another one, big one, very common. Ooh. Body image issues. You have a chip on your shoulder, maybe because you're a little overweight and you think you're unlovable, or maybe you have some physical deformity that makes you unlovable. Yeah, body image is very common. We're gonna wear that one. Okay, childhood trauma affects most of our relationships. Whether it was physical or sexual abuse, whether it was your parents' bad divorce or bullying, things that happened to us as a child carry into adulthood and really do affect our relationships. Playing the victim is baggage. Do you think you're the only one on the planet that has been hurt or injured? Do you think that you're the only one divorced or maybe that has had a death? Do you excuse your bad behavior because you think you're the only person on the planet that's been injured? Okay, playing the victim is big baggage. This is big baggage that needs to drop. Okay, this one's big and heavy and just fell off. sadness and grief. Okay, sadness and grief. I don't care if you are divorced. The light hitting that okay? If you are divorced, or if you are, if you've lost a spouse, it's all grief, and grief does things to us. If you've lost a spouse and can't get yourself out of the sadness, you tend to want to replace that and put yourself out there in a place of desperation. Also, divorced people fall into depression. You know, divorce isn't easy, it's traumatic. And so sadness and grief is big, big baggage. Okay, and our last one. Anger and hate and anger. Okay, anger comes as a secondary emotion to being hurt or confused, but anger is big. And anger is really hard to drop. And anger honestly makes us behave badly. And so this is big, big baggage that we do need to get rid of. Now, if you'll notice, I'm carrying a whole lot of bags. So some of the things I like to do, I love hiking. I love water sports, especially in the summer. Snowshoeing in the winter. Anyways, all the things that I love to do, I'm really weighed down right now with all this baggage. So much like this physical baggage that gets in the way of me doing things that I love, your emotional baggage is going to weigh on you the same way and get in the way of you doing things that you love. So let me drop the baggage and we will talk about how to get rid of it. Okay, so let's use this one. Okay, getting rid of our baggage. Let's make sure we can see that. First thing we're going to do is come to a place of forgiveness. And sometimes forgiveness is forgiving the other person, and sometimes it's forgiving ourselves, because sometimes we should have seen the signs coming. We beat ourselves up about getting into a bad situation or allowing someone to be terrible to us. So forgiveness is the other person and ourselves. Now, forgiveness is not always easy. We're going to hang this up. So forgiveness is remembering without anger, which is hard, especially in our situations where people that we were supposed to love have left us. So here's some tricks actually to forgiveness. These are all kind of go along the same lines. Okay, something to help you forgive is to understand. This says hurt people hurt people. I've said this for years. I don't remember where I got it. Understand where a person is coming from. Understand where a person is hurting that would make them behave the way they did toward you. Okay, next one. Is take a lesson. What did you learn from your experience? Now, this is cathartic to a lot of people to actually figure out what they learned, because there's always a positive in every mistake, right? There's always a learning experience. Okay, and maybe you can even take a lesson a step further and help somebody else out with your experiences. Okay. Build your skills. Figure out what your mistakes were, and you figure out how to not make them again. This is my story. I was married to a bipolar man, and when he was low and depressed, he was not kind. He was not supportive. In fact, he was often mean and made everything my fault. So I went out in the world and I started making every mistake. After he died, I made every dating mistake possible. I dated jerks who were mean to me. I dated jerks who were mean to me and made fun of me because I allowed them to be mean to me. Because I was very comfortable with the bad behavior, because I didn't value myself enough. I went on this big learning spree and had to learn all that I could, which makes me a really good life coach. I took the lesson. Anyways, I built my skills, and I started making better choices in men, and better choices in men started making better choices in me. Don't know where I was going with that. But build your skills. Find out your why. Figure out why. Okay. Practice not reacting. So we get a lot of bad behavior from our baggage, and a lot of times we react in the same way over and over and over again. So this is practice not reacting. Think of something else. Think of a mantra that you can go to instead of reacting. You know, you're okay, you've gone on with your life, things are great, you're doing fine, you're a positive person now. Whatever your mantra needs to be to stop you from reacting. Stop reacting to your pain, to your baggage. Okay, and lastly, drop the negatives and replace them with positives. If you've had experiences that has made you feel unloved, well, then you replace that with thinking about all the people that love you. If you really are having a hard time with feelings because you've been hurt, you think of all the people who support you and who don't hurt you, who have your best interest at heart. So you take the negatives from any situation and you replace those with positives. We just squish those on there real good. So forgiveness, understand where the other person is coming from and take a lesson. That's going to help with our forgiveness. We're going to build our skills so we don't make the same mistakes twice. We're going to practice not reacting. And we're going to think about something else more positive. And drop the negative and replace those with positives. For every negative you have, I'm sure you have several positives. So this is not all going to happen overnight. You're not going to just go, oh yeah, one day we're just going to do all these things and feel better. But little by little, you should start feeling better. You should start feeling lighter, and you should stop reacting to the triggers so badly. If this isn't working for you, seek a professional. There's a lot of professionals out there that work on trauma that would be happy to help you. So that is dropping our baggage. Now let's talk about putting your very best self out there. Okay, what does that mean? We are going to start with practicing self-care. Okay, this has a lot of aspects, but I'm just going to cover a couple. I can say go get a massage, bad breakup, massage and ice cream. But we're going to talk about something else. Practicing self-care, good hygiene. You would not think that adults need to hear this, but adults need to hear this. If you are going on a date, if you are putting yourself in social situations, you need to smell good and you need to look good. Okay, this means your clothes are clean and pressed. This means you have showered, you have deodorant on, if not also cologne. This means your teeth are brushed. I shouldn't have to be saying this, but I've been in enough single situations that I know I have to say this. So practice good hygiene. Build your confidence. You take every positive thing about yourself and you start working on that and make yourself a very confident person. The two most attractive traits that are out there right now that people talk about, confidence and happiness. People want a confident person and people want a happy person. Confidence comes from loving yourself, and this is focusing on every cool thing about yourself. So why not celebrate that anyways and build your confidence? Think and speak positive. Have you ever been around someone who's always telling jokes at someone's expense, that's always sarcastic, that's always just kind of negative and bitter, versus someone who's always positive and sunshiny all the time? Okay, practicing self-care is thinking positive, maybe even practicing gratitude. Be a positive person when you're putting yourself out there. Okay, and obviously drop your baggage. We've already talked about that. Okay, second thing, setting healthy boundaries. Okay, if you don't know what boundaries are, you should not be dating. Boundaries are your rules. They're your rules based on your values, they're based on your religion, they're based on whatever you want. These are your rules. People who value themselves have boundaries. One of the questions I got in the class I taught was, how do you reinforce these boundaries? And I said, you just do. You just say to somebody, oh, was that a joke at my expense? Oh, I don't do those. Like, let's not go there. That's not something I participate in. Boundaries. You don't accept bad behavior. Maybe it's the time the affection starts in a relationship, or how far the affection will go in the relationship. Any rule that you want to come up with, and this is kind of a learn as you go process, but if you value yourself, you are going to show that you are a person of value by having rules, boundaries. Very important. Okay, the third thing, and quite possibly my favorite, is living a life that you love. I should say building a life that you love, but living a life that you love. I've got a dog underfoot. Can you, oh, you can't see her. Okay, living a life that you love. Hobbies and interests. Are there things in your life that you enjoy doing that you look forward to? Hobbies and interests should be a part of everyone's life. But especially when we're single and we're lonely, have some hobbies and interests that don't involve finding another spouse. Goals and plans for the future. Do you set goals? Are you progressing in life? That is a very appealing, attractive quality for people who have goals and plans and are progressing. So keep that in mind. A healthy social life. Okay, I don't care if you're an extreme introvert. You need a social life. People need people. We are human beings. We are social beings. You need a good social circle that is positive and uplifting, that you enjoy. All these things are going to make for a happier life. And honestly, if you're living a life you love, it's going to be easy for someone just to jump in and join you. So make sure that this is a happy, positive thing. Your life in general is happy and positive. Okay, last thing. If you go to my website, lovingagaincoach.com, you will find a tab that says Happiness Map. So now I can't hold it really close and talk about it at the same time, so I'm going to show it to you. There's just little boxes to fill in. It's a daily thing. It sounds overwhelming, but literally it's just a few minutes in the morning and not even more than 10 or 15 at night. So your daily affirmation. Whatever you want to affirm that day. You have a job interview. Today I'm courageous or smart. Today I am happy. Just depending on what you're doing or what you need that day. And maybe you're not doing anything out of the ordinary. You just want to be happy. So today I'm happy. Your affirmation. Your morning work. Today's goals. That could be your to-do list or anything else. Maybe you're working on a bigger goal and you need smaller goals to get there. It goes in your daily goals. A spiritual thought. So if you are a religious or spiritual person, that goes in here. It doesn't matter what it is. If you do scripture study or anything like that, that can go in here. If you're not a spiritual person, just a motivational thought, just something just to kind of get you going. Practicing religion actually helps your serotonin. And all these things are producing happy chemicals, and that's why we call it the happiness map. Today's exercise goal. You need to be moving every single day. Well, let's say 5 days a week. Okay, this might be you're going to do 25 more reps than you did yesterday with weights. This might be your 20-minute walk. Doesn't matter. you need your exercise goal. Okay, moments of gratitude. This is like your gratitude journal. This is more of an evening thing, but you can do it anytime during the day. All your gratitude moments. Moments I laughed. Let's relive the moments that you laughed during the day. Isn't that a great thing? Especially when you have hilarious friends, like I do. Deep thoughts and epiphanies. Anything you want to remember goes right here. And the last line is my favorite. Awesome achievements. Okay, anything you did that made you feel awesome, maybe it's just accomplishing your goals. You put it right here. If there's anything else that you found awesome during your day, you celebrate that and you write it down. Okay, conflicts and obstacles. You know, stuff happens during the day, stuff happens that doesn't really please us or that we're not really happy with, or maybe we're disappointed in ourselves over something. That goes here, our conflicts and obstacles, and then right below it, how will I do better? So you can actually write down how you would do that situation better. A lot of times it's yelling at your kids, or I fought with my boss, or something like that. And so this helps you build confidence by knowing that you already know how to fix that problem if it comes up again. This is one of my favorite things ever. And then how I served. Are you doing a nice thing for somebody? You know, the Boy Scout motto, do a good turn daily. It doesn't have to be much, but how you serve somebody else. So this is a wonderful tool. You will find if you do it, maybe you don't fill in all the boxes every day, but most of them, and it really doesn't take that much time, but it really does help with your happiness. It helps produce some really good brain chemicals to help you with your happiness. So that is all for today. Again, my website is lovingagaincoach.com. I'm on Facebook as Dating Again. I'm on Instagram as dating.again. And if you like this video, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and watch for more videos. All right, thanks for joining in.